All right, so we are about to enter the wings of the tropics here at Fairchild Tropical Botanic Garden. So as protocol is, we need to go through, make sure there's nothing on us, no butterflies leaving with us as we go into the next room. Gotta check. I think we're butterfly and pest free. Looking good. Looking good. Press this button. Here we go. So here at Fairchild, they rear all of these exotic butterfly species that you see here in this conservatory. And so they grow them through all of the life stages, which you can see over here. This is the awesome blue Morpho butterfly, Morpho pallades. And so you can see all of these chrysalises just hanging here pinned. There are live caterpillars in here that are pupating and will eventually burst out and be full-form butterflies. Okay, so here you can see blue Morpho butterflies eating and resting on these bananas, these plantains. So they don't really look blue right now because their wings are closed, but if it was to open its wings, you'd see this brilliant blue color. These blue Morpho butterflies have these spots on them known as eye spots or ocelli that basically act as a form of mimicry that make that butterfly look like it has eyes of a potentially larger predator so that other things don't mess with it, which is really, really cool. All right, we gotta close the door, check. Butterfly free, looking good. All right, we are about to enter the glass house conservatory here at Fairchild Tropical Botanic Garden, and you are not ready. Let's do it. Oh, wow. So many things I want to talk about, but like right off the bat, look at this Selaginella here. Look at the iridescence. This blue-purple coloration on this plant is so incredible. Selaginella are able to produce this iridescence due to these organelles known as iridoplasts. They're similar to chloroplasts, but these plants have evolved these iridoplasts to allow them to capture a different wavelength of light, which is best suited for growing in low light conditions. So they've evolved this blue coloration, or what we perceive as blue coloration, just as an evolutionary mechanism to be able to grow under low light conditions, which is so incredible. So many plants on this living wall. Look at this Rhaphidophora foraminifera. What an incredible Rhaphidophora species where it gets these fenestrations just along the central midrib. Incredible. Another incredible cool plant, it's not an Airoid, but this climbing this wall here is a Fresentia species. Really, really interesting, just the growth habit of this plant. They're also covered in spines. We'll see a couple other Fresentia in a moment. And look at this beast. This is Pentagonia wendlandii. I have one of these growing in our greenhouses, but it is nothing like this yet. Incredibly tropical species. It is really, really temperamental when it comes to lower, colder growing conditions. It cannot take anything below 55 degrees or else it'll completely crash. But I mean, wow, look at that. All right, so we've sold 4-inch Rhaphidophora cryptantha on small plaques before, but to really understand just how this shingling species grows, look at this specimen here. Just look at this very minute, small Rhaphidophora species, so different than a lot of the other Rhaphidophoras, but look at how it's just shingling and growing on this trunk here. Incredible. It looks like this main palm died back, but other plants are still utilizing it. Okay, so one of my just OG favorite plants, I have it tattooed on me, Anthurium Biliate. You can see here, I mean, look at the size. This is typical leaves like on something that we sell, but it goes through an amazing maturation where you can see it climbing all the way up, and look at it all the way up there. Those leaves are huge. They almost resemble palm fronds. They're so large. And if you look over here, up there, you can even see inflorescences and infructescences that are still there. That is so cool. This is a mature Anthurium Biliate. Another just incredible shingling Rhaphidophora species is Rhaphidophora hayi. You can see, starts out small, but as it grows and matures, look at it here, and it is just going, and it wants to escape. And look at how it grew all the way, hit the corner, and then it wanted to stay attached, and it just kept going. Look at this. Who doesn't want a ceiling that's just covered in plants? Another beautiful Fresentia species, this is Fresentia Kumungiana. And just look at how, almost bamboo and like very grass-like this looks, but such a unique growth habit. This Fresentia, like most Fresentia, is covered in these spines, or I guess technically they're prickles that basically are just an outgrowth of epidermal cells that cover the undersides of the leaf of this plant. Incredible. All right, and wow, now we're on to the next house. So many cool things here. Let's look. If you can see this over here, I wish I could get down there, but see the super frilly tall leaf right there? That's Alocasia Portia Malaysian monster. When I first came to Fairchild in 2017, they had a specimen of that in this house here that was touching the roof of this glass house, of this shade house conservatory. It gets huge. That leaf is easily 4 to 5 feet long. They get massive, hence the name Malaysian monster. This is an incredible begonia. This is Begonia by Panetta Fighta. Just look at this. It gets the species epithet by Panetta Fighta because it has bipinnately compound leaves. So that means that they're pinnate, meaning they're split, and then they're bipinnate because they're split again. So they have lobes on lobes on lobes. What an awesome begonia. Okay, if you know anything about me, I can't pass up the opportunity to talk about ant plants, myrmecophytes. So look at this huge, massive hydnophytum that they have here. It's so overgrown with moss, but can you see the caudiciform, this trunk, this swollen trunk here of this ant plant is a beast. And so if you see, look at the holes here that this plant makes naturally for all of the mutualistic symbiotic relationships it has with ants naturally in the wild. They are such incredible plants. So I believe the fact is Fairchild Tropical Botanic Garden is the only actual certified rainforest here in the continental United States. So that is really something. I'm just so honored I get to walk around this beautiful garden and show and share with all of you all of the amazing plants they have here. Look at this West Indian tree fern, Sayethia arborea. Look at this trunk of this tree fern. Look at it here as it goes all the way up. Incredible, absolutely incredible. I love Selaginella. They are such interesting plants, and look at this naturally variegated Selaginella. This is Selaginella picta, and just look at the white on the green is so impressive. It is stunning. Another incredible, I'm gonna say it all the time, Fresentia species. Look at this Fresentia shingling up this wall. Look at how silver, how glaucous it is. That coloration is impeccable. That is so beautiful. I love glaucous plants. Glaucous being the Latin term for that silver blue coloration. Back in either 2017, 2018 at that Airoid show, I brought a Dieffenbachia white blizzard and it won a first place ribbon. And as I was walking out, I ran into Chad, the horticulture director here at Fairchild, and he commented that it was a beautiful plant, and naturally, I offered it to him to see if he wanted to grow it in the garden. And so, I am very proud to say it is still doing very wonderful here, and look at this white blizzard Dieffenbachia back there. I love you, baby. You're doing great. This plant is Osmoxylon novaguiense, and so many cool things about this plant. Look at this digitate shaped leaf. So this is digitate, where all of the lobes radiate from one central point like this. And look at the interesting structure on the base of this petiole. Why they have this formation, I have no idea, but it is so unique. And then if you look all the way up, look at how it's flowering. That floral structure is incredible. Just the multitudes of flowers all coming out of that one inflorescence. Wow. Look at this aquatic setup here. It is just beautiful. What a great way to showcase some of these naturally aquatic plants. And King Anthurium, Anthurium Biliate, look at it growing epiphytically here on this wall. Those leaves are impressive, but honestly, that's nothing. I've seen Anthurium Biliate leaves that are close to 8 feet long. They can get even bigger. I've been standing next to leaves in Colombia that were literally longer than my body, and I'm 6 feet tall. It is such an incredible Anthurium. All right, so we're about to see in the next house some incredible diversity in the species Ficus Del Tortier. So you can see 2 of them here growing up there epiphytically in those baskets. Look at how large those Del Tortier leaves are. That is a large form of it, but that plant has many, many different forms or varieties. Look at this other one here. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. All right, and now we're in the last house of the conservatory here. Look at this living wall made out of this nice coquina rock that's native to this area, South Florida. Incredible. Epiphytes love growing on it. It's super porous. Look at this Airoid. This is an Anchomanius species, so similar to a Morphophallus, they develop just one leaf. So this is all one petiole and one leaf, and look at how divided it is. They grow from a corm that's underground, and oh my goodness, look at this. This Anchomanius, look at the infructescence here. Look at all of those berries developing. That is incredible. Wow, to see one this size and this mature is just amazing. Anchomanies have this very distinguishable feature because their petioles are covered in these prickles that are actually pretty sharp. Look at that. All right, so as promised, let's look at all of these different Ficus Del Tortier forms. Look at this one here. Look how tiny those leaves are. They're very miniature. And then you have this one. Look at how round these leaves are. Pretty big. I mean, yeah, that's huge. That's awesome. We have this form, has very elliptical shaped leaves. Another form here. And then, honestly, I think the most impressive forms are right outside these doors. This is still Ficus Del Tortier, but look, oh my goodness, look at how small these leaves are, and just the shape and everything is so cool. And so this is a really small, like upright form, and then over here we have almost like a weeping form with a more round leaf. Wow. And of course, I can't help but share with you, look at how massive this Antherium Clavidrum is. Look at these leaves. Wow, so incredible. And if the size of these leaves wasn't impressive enough, look at this. Zach, I mean, look at this inflorescence. Like, look at how long this thing is. And you know what I'm just seeing now? Look at this ripe infructescence that fell off. Look at all of these berries that would have seeds inside. Yep, look at there, it already started germinating. Wow. Well, I'll put you back down and maybe babies will start growing on the ground underneath the mama. That is awesome. There's another beast I'm going to show you, but look at this specimen, Philodendron Biliate. Look at the trunk here, how it's growing completely epiphytically with all these aerial roots wrapping around the stem. Look at the trunk as it climbs all the way up. And then, Zach, get over here and just look at this. Look at the size of this thing. That is incredible. Philodendron Biliate is known and distinguished because of the orange coloration of the petioles. Look at that vibrant orange color. Stunning. This is Philodendron stenolobum, but this is the narrow form of Philodendron stenolobum. So we grew Philodendron stenolobum from seeds, but the form that our seeds are is the typical or the wider form, whereas this narrow form has a really thin, long leaf. Look at the undulation, undulation being the Latin botanical term for wavy, of the leaf edge. The margin is just incredible. This is Anthurium Faustino Mirande, sometimes called Faustino's giant, but look, just look at how big these leaves are. Incredible, a giant growing Anthurium. This tree is just loaded with epiphytes. So epiphyte being the term for epi meaning upon and phyte being plant, because these plants are growing completely on another plant. They don't harm the host plant at all. They just use it for support. And look at all the different bromeliads, anthuriums, ferns, everything growing up there, completely living their life without ever touching soil. All right, if you thought the other Philodendron Biliate was large, look at this specimen. I was actually just told this is the dark form of Philodendron Biliate. And you can see it started here. Look at all these aerial roots reaching all the way down to the ground. They are anchored in. But then, I mean, as it goes, look at it all the way up, climbing that palm tree. Incredible. This tree is Corupita guianensis, known as cannonball tree. I mean, look at these inflorescences. So this tree is cauliferous, meaning that it blooms directly out of its stem. And so out of the trunk of the tree, all of these really rambling inflorescences form. On these inflorescences, you can see all of these buds forming. And once they form and fully open, this is what the flower looks like. When these flowers are pollinated, you can see here, they'll start to develop, and eventually these fruits will get larger and larger and larger until they're about the size of like a really big softball. The tree gets its name, cannonball trees, because when these fruits are fully developed and fall from way up in the tree, in the forest it sounds like a cannon goes off when they hit the ground. And so actually you gotta be really careful walking through the jungle with these trees, because you could get hit in the head with a cannonball fruit, which is wild. This huge philodendron is rarely seen, Philodendron Betziae, and look at the size of these leaves. And you can see, look at it climbing up this old palm trunk that isn't even a live palm anymore, but the plant is still utilizing it as a support. That is just incredible. Run over here, just look. Wow, I mean, wow. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed running around the garden and looking at all these plants with me. Catch us next year here at Fairchild Tropical Botanic Garden for the next International Airoid Society Show and Sale. See you there.